Now from page number 43, density of population. Now first we will understand what is the definition of density of population. The average number of people living per square kilometer area is termed as the density of population. Population density is associated with social, economic and geographical conditions. Population varies from country to country. Even in our country, all the regions or states don't have the same population. There is no uniformity in the distribution of population. Population density is high in the fertile alluvial plains of river deltas, industrial area, etc. On the other hand, the population density is low in the areas like desert, mountains, and forest due to unfavorable conditions. So we can see that in our country also the population varies from one area to other. Now factors affecting the density of population. Density of population is affected by various geographical factors like altitude, climate, weather, topography, types of crops, availability of minerals, water, and energy sources, etc. Along with it, transport and communication facilities, education and health facilities, industrialization, employment opportunities, urbanization, latest technology, etc. also affect the density of population. So these are the important factors which affects the density of population. Next are five states having the maximum population in our country. They are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal and Andhra Pradesh. Five states and union territories having the least population. They were the maximum population and the now five states having the least population. That you have to remember: Lakshadweep Island, Diu and Daman, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and Sikkim. Now about the birth rate. The total lives birth in 1 year per thousand persons in a given area is known as the birth rate. For the past few years, the birth rate in India has been consistently declining. People exercise family planning more than before. In rural areas, the implementations of family planning is much lesser due to the lack of education, lack of health facility, poverty, unemployment, and ignorance about the means of birth control. You can see here the picture. Here, comparison of birth rate and death rate is given. Now, next is death rate. The number of deaths in 1 year per thousand person in a specific area is termed as death rate. So you have to remember the definition of: the one who takes birth dies too, hence the death rate can never be zero. Still, various researches, medical treatments, medicines, vaccination, control over diseases, new technology, etc., can bring down the death rate. Now, next is migration. Now, what is the meaning of migration? When people shift from one place to another, it is known as migration. People indulge into a range of activities in order to earn and develop. Socio-cultural needs also compel people to keep migrating. Migrating means to go from one place to another. The rural population is attracted towards the urban areas for better facilities in education, business, industries, employment, and administration. Currently, 62% of the population of Gujarat lives in rural areas and 38% lives in urban areas. Next topic is population composition. The classification of the total population into various categories is called population composition. The categorization is done as per male, female, age group, literacy rate, urban rural areas, religions, linguistic groups, professional groups, etc. Through study of these categories help us to understand the population composition. Now the age structure. The total population of the nation comprises of three age groups. They are the children, adults and senior citizens. Children means from 0 to 14 years, means at from the time of the birth to 14 years. Adults means from 15 years to 59 years, and senior citizens are above 59 years. Among the above three groups, maximum and the most important difference is seen in the first and the third group. As per the 2001 census, 35% to 40% of the total population is below 18 years, whereas the 7% to 10% is senior citizens. Rest all are the adults. Next, we will learn about the sex ratio. Sex ratio can be defined as the number of females per thousand males. The sex ratio has been reducing consequently since 1951. Now you can see in the table that Kerala state has the highest sex ratio in India. And according to the census of 2011, the sex ratio in Gujarat was 918. Next you have literacy. The development of any country depends on the literacy rate of that country. Literacy is the important criteria to measure the standard of living of population and its social development. Literacy is also the key to economic development of any nation. The definition of literacy was fixed at the time of census of 1991. According to it, any individual who is 6 years or above and who can read, write and understand any one language may be considered as literate. The literacy rate in India has been increasing consequently, with which is a positive sign. Now you can see in the table given in your book that in 2011 the literacy rate of India was 74.04%. In 2011 the literacy rate of Gujarat was 79.31%. Kerala state of India has the highest literacy rate and Bihar state of India has the lowest literacy rate. Now you have next topic of occupational structure. Any person in the country engaged in any kind of economic activity is included in the occupational group. It is divided into earning population and second one is dependent population. So two types of population are there. Firstly, you have earning population, second dependent population. The earning population is constantly increasing due to rapid industrialization in the country. Change in the population composition. Changes in the population composition are of two types. First is quantitative changes and second is qualitative changes. Now let us see the first change. Sometimes we notice a rise or fall in the population. This happens due to the population growth and migration of people. The conditions leading to a quantitative changes are landlessness, low per head land ratio, urbanization, as well as social and administrative reasons. Qualitative changes are the changes observed in the levels of health and education indicate qualitative changes. It alters the way of thinking and behavior as well as style and standard of living. The other factors responsible for qualitative changes are dedication, hard work, patriotism, enthusiasm, courage, etc. These factors bring about socio-cultural changes. Next, you have religious group and linguistic group. Now, in religious group, we can see that India is a secular state. People who follow different religions stay together here. Among all the religions, Hindus are in majority, followed by Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, etc. And in linguistic groups, India is a large country with the diversity as its prime characteristics. Currently, there are 22 languages recognized by our constitution. Hindi and English are the two official languages. The states have been formed on the basis of languages. For example, we can say that in Punjab we speak Punjabi. In Gujarat state, Gujarati language is there. Okay, the health of a person can be defined as the physical, mental, emotional, social, economic, and spiritual well being. The best level of health helps in fostering the process of national development. Next, you have national population policy. The population of nation is its wealth and strength. If the human resource is educated, trained, healthy and strong, then it will foster the development of the nation. That means if the human beings of our country are educated, trained, healthy and strong, then the development of the country will increase. A carefully planned use of human resource builds the foundation for the development of the nation. To keep the pace with the developed nation, it is very important that the human resource is developed. The factors that hamper the progress of a nation must be eliminated or controlled. Overpopulation is one such factor which has to be dealt with as per the population policies adopted since 1951. As a part of national population policy, various programs like nutritious food program, care for mother and child, pure drinking water, school, health programs, safeguarding the rights of children, etc., must reach to the grassroots levels. Grassroots levels means primary education. Even the 5-year plans are made keeping the national population policy in focus. We must resolve to contribute as committed and responsible citizens towards the progress of the nation.